Now you're going to say, but suppose they don't want the money, and suppose, Britain sells it to France, or Japan sells it to China. Well, it doesn't matter, because we're dealing with the whole rest of the world now, right? So if Harry sells it to Larry, it doesn't make any difference, right? We're dealing with the whole world. Now, pay attention. It can go the other way. If I wanted to draw you a chart of the capital account, what would the capital account look like? It would be the mirror image of that line going up. And I ask you, as a matter of logic, which way is the current account going? And you'd say logically it's going south. In other words, if the capital account goes north, the current account goes south. The current account goes south, the capital account goes north. Are you at all sympathetic? Now, if we go back a little over 100 years, for most of the 20th century, the United States current account was in surplus, primarily because we exported more goods and services than we imported. Therefore, since our capital account was in surplus, since our current account was in surplus, since we exported more than we imported, since our current account was in surplus, right? What about our capital account? Well, that meant our capital account had to be in deficit. Now you're going to say, gosh, Mike, what does that mean? We're investing in the rest of the world and our capital account is in deficit? Yes. Just keep your eyes on the money. If the money's going out, that's a minus. The money's coming in, it's a plus. If we invest in the rest of the world, that's a minus because the money is going out. Nowadays, the whole thing's changed because starting around the 80s, right? Starting around the 80s, but with an interruption, the current account was increasingly negative. Therefore, the capital account was increasingly positive. The rest of the world was investing in us. If China, if the People's Republic of China has purchased $1 trillion worth of United States Treasury securities, that means that's an investment in the United States, right? And it's symptomatic of the stuff. It's symptomatic of the fact that over the years, we've bought from the People's Republic of China about $1 trillion more than we've sold to them. And so what have they done with all the excess dollars that they've received because we've bought more from them than they've sold to us? They've kept it in the form of United States Treasury securities. They could have kept it in the form of bank accounts, or they could have kept it in the form of this or that, right? But it happened to be United States Treasury securities. That was their choice. Is everybody with me? Now, which nation in the world, which nation is the world's greatest debtor nation? United States. And that's relatively recent. That wasn't the case 25 years ago. But it is now. And the question becomes, what would it take for this line to head north again? What would it take? Well, it might take this. It might take us selling more to the rest of the world and buying less from the rest of the world, right? Or it might take the rest of the world investing less here. Now, it doesn't really matter which way you go at it. You can start with the rest of the world investing here, and therefore we have the funds to buy from them. Or you can say, you can start with us buying more from them than they buy from us, and therefore they have the funds to invest here. It doesn't really matter which way you go at it. Does everybody see? I mean, maybe you should go at it simultaneously, both ways. But in any event, one way or the other, the reason this is heading south is mostly trade in goods and service, in goods. It's the merchandise trade deficit. And of course, that reflects the fact that capital is flowing in here. Remember, if we buy the goods from the rest of the rest of the world must invest here. There's no way that we can be net foreign investors and also be net importers. Does everybody understand? It can't happen. Just like in the 1920s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and the 1960s, does everybody understand? Most of the 20th century, we were net exporters. And since we were net exporters, we also had to be net foreign investors. Because since we sold more to the rest of the world than we bought from the rest of the world, we had all those foreign funds to invest over there. Or you can put it the other way around. I don't care. You can say, gee whiz, maybe because we invested more there, they had all that money to buy more from us than they sold to us. Fine. I don't want to quibble. As long as you understand the fact that if the money's going out, that's a minus. If it's coming in, that's a plus. If the money's going out, that's a minus, that's a deficit. If the money's coming in, that's a plus, it's a surplus. As long as you understand that today, for us to be net importers means also that we are net borrowers, if you want to put it that way. The rest of the world is investing in us. For the rest of the world to invest in us chronically, it means we must buy more from the rest of the world. Does everybody kind of get it? Now, I know it's a pretty big bite to chew on, but here we are, okay?